your favourite
He's always said this.
I've always said it. What about Hertfordshire and all those lovely places?
Third.
That's third from fucking last.
Oh. It's hard to keep them.
Yeah.
All I always remember is that Gloucestershire is
Number one.
Number
top.
one.
Tip
good
top.
stuff.
Yorkshire's
So it
number
should be.
2, right?
Yeah.
Yorkshire number
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Well, that's right up there, isn't it? And they always have fun up north.
Yorkshire's in my top 3 for sure. Last time we played a show there.
Yeah.
I feel like it sort of ruined the mystique.
Really?
To get behind the scenes and really see how they do what they do.
Yeah.
How do they do what they do?
Huffing a lot of paint and stuff like that.
There's paint huffing. There's a lot of dropping of acid.
Really?
Acid use
It's supposed to be a family
by the
centre
planners.
place. That sort of ruins
Well,
the
the
illusion.
minute they walk out front, though, top
Game
service.
faces.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Just
I don't think
cheering up the kids.
I don't think they're wrong. Like if you think about Salvador Dali's paintings, they're enjoyable by kids and families. But the man himself was pretty nutty. He's not necessarily, you wouldn't have him babysit the kids. So similarly with the Butlins planning staff, they're off their fucking rockers, but the results are magnificent for all ages.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Inarguably magnificent.
Yeah.
I think the main way to keep yourself balanced is to just follow a routine.
Mm-hmm.
So for our purposes, the routine is work, booze, work, booze, work, booze.
Sometimes booze
Work,
twice.
booze.
Sometimes booze twice before.
Well, yeah, you gotta keep things a little fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's key. We sleep every couple days in the van.
3, 4, 5 hours, maybe.
It just depends on the length of the drive.
Yeah, it depends on how long that driver's in the driver's seat.
That
That's
would
how
be-
long he gets a nap.
That would be an unusually long trip for the UK. Usually you're looking at more like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Favorite place to have time off and have a good time is Gloucester Services. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I would say it's a toss-up between Gloucester Services and Butlins. Minehead.
Could they
It's our
not put
favorite.
That doesn't feel very relaxing at Butlins, so I got information coming,
And also-
stimuli.
You want to talk about no sleep, you should see him at Butlins. From the moment he checks in till the moment he checks out, he's at 100% or more.
Yeah, I actually take heavy doses of tranquilizer the days leading up to my Butlins, and that's why I sleep 18, 19 hours a day in the 3 or 4 days leading up, just so I'm
Hibernation.
very well rested.
Yeah. Butlins does officially recommend it, actually.
I think
That
that's
comes
on
in
their
there.
website.
When you book online or over the phone or whatever, you receive a welcome packet sort of in the mail that's like, get psyched for your trip, here's a few things you might want to know. And included is, try to sleep for 18 to 20 hours a day in the days leading up to your Butlins weekend because it is full on here.
It's true, I'm probably making this up.
That almost implies that we take seriously our unseriousness. Yeah, and yes,
Yes.
I would say we
Well,
do.
that's a very positive thing,
Yeah.
I would say.
I think you have to know when to take your frivolity seriously, and we do. A lot of people, I think, misunderstand triviality, frivolity as sort of time off or time when they can just relax and get their sillies out. But for us, that's the job.
Well, yeah. What's funny about it is that we do take pride in being pretty laid back and not taking ourselves seriously. But God, we take a lot of fucking pride, man. We're very prideful.
We're not humble about
Really
it.
focused.
Not-
We let that pride consume us, frankly.
It can be very consuming.
Oh,
I think for our fans, we are.
Yeah.
Then there's a separate group of people who don't remember who we are at all. For them, I think they would challenge the phrase cult band.
Or maybe they would be like, oh yeah, they must be some cult band.
Those are for refined specialist tastes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not me.
Not for me or
I like a
anyone.
broad
Yeah,
mainstream
yeah.
offering. I like jacket potatoes and such. Not that we are scientists thing. Caviar. It's not for me. It's understandable.
Caviar is a very cult dish.
It's a specific sliver of the population that enjoys caviar, and likewise we are scientists, you know. And that's not the only.
And, yeah, we'd
Also,
like,
we've got
we'd
very good
like that
comparison.
analogy to imply that it's a very refined palate.
It requires a refined palate. You benefit from excellent finances, although it's not necessary to enjoy We Are Scientists. And both we and caviar come from fish eggs originally.
Yeah, we both smell very fishy.
My body is your body.
Yeah, this one writing wise was a little more blank canvas. Although when we started selecting the songs to record, we got very excited about the idea of making a pretty poppy record out of those songs. So this one was another very studio based record. I kind of make the record to be its own standalone thing and then worry about how we would play it later.
Anybody, everyone.
I don't really know much new British TV. I like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
But if we had to sit down and watch any British TV, it would probably be Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Oh, I've heard so much about them, but I haven't actually seen it.
It's a classic. It's a classic of your country's television.
A modern classic.
Yeah, yeah, it's 10 years old now.
Maybe, yeah.
Not even that.
Yeah,
It's- I watched a couple of the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock episode. I didn't like it that much, actually.
I don't-
I'd say the production and the look and all that is pretty cool, and I like Benedict Cumberbatch a lot, and also Tim from The Office. What's that? Martin
Freeman?
I think he's great in it. My qualm is really with the stories, which I think are not as they aren't great pot boilers. Like they don't really twist the knife in the last act the way you expect a cool
Not a lot of
mystery
twists
to.
and-
And there's so many shows that are doing that well right now that I expected it would. And then so when the first one didn't, I was like, probably a fluke. I was like, pilot. You know, this is like the pilot. They probably didn't give him any money. The next one's going to be amazing.
They didn't have money to write that third act really well.
Yeah, maybe that's due to the targeting of the show. That's supposed to be like so everyone can enjoy it, like 4-year-olds and stuff. Now, can I ask you to clarify whether you are ideally looking for an ingredient versus a finished dish?
I'd say a finished dish. I'd say the finished article.
See, my initial instinct is to try to think of something very disgusting, so that I wouldn't be eaten.
Caviar.
And
And you could, you
my
know,
life would be extended, but my life would be meaningless if I were a food that no one wanted to eat.
Yeah, if no one actualizes you by consuming
Yeah,
it,
yeah. Randy told me that.
yeah, then your identity is shattered.
Yeah, the metaphysics of being an unwanted food item are pretty. I don't want to stare down that.
Don't do it. Although some things that we consider food items would happily have their identities
Oh, yeah.
revoked like a pig.
Yeah, I'd like to be a free-range pig, personally.
Even
Just
though-
out in the forest.
Because then you
Oh.
look quite nice.
Like-
Yeah, just out in the forest.
Yeah, but that's so now we're back to that's not a finished plate really.
Isn't it?
For a Tyrannosaurus Rex, it is.
They eat pigs?
Anything. They would if you put one. You give them the choice. I think. I don't know. I'm basing that on Jurassic
It's a
Park
tough thing.
films.
I think I'd be a shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
See,
Very
that's
British,
funny. I was
non British
fairly
pie.
closely, I was going to say maybe a samosa.
Mm.
I like the symmetry of a good samosa and the spiciness.
It's got a
Two
little
very
kick.
key things as well.
Two very Keith Murray things.
It's a light meal.
Symmetry. and-
Insubstantial.
Yeah, well, yeah. Three very Keith Murray things.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Is
thank
there
you.
anything else you want to
Wait,
say?
we never heard what he's going to
Oh,
make.
yeah, what are you going to be, Chris?
A free range pig.
I knew it!
Two free range.
Got it. Because he changed his answers now. I
And
can
I
have
knew
it.
it to be it.
Free range pig. Yes.
Shout.
Buy it.
It's your body, and I'm not just anybody.